In the following video, a man hears a strange sound coming from his son's room, even though no one's supposed to be in there. Watch this.
Alright, check this out. There's this noise coming from the bedroom. But my wife and my baby, they're not here. They're not in the bedroom. And this noise happens every day at this exact time. Man. Yeah, there's no one in there. No one.
Every time it happens, he can't seem to make sense of it, but when he opens the door, there's no one there. Some say maybe it's old pipes or the wooden floor shifting with the weather. Others think it could be the air vent causing the door to rattle. But this time, it wasn't just a sound. The door actually opened and closed by itself. He said this has never happened before, or at least he's never stayed long enough to see it. Usually, the moment the noise starts, he distracts himself or turns up the TV, but it became creepy when a few eagle-eyed viewers noticed the books he had in his house, titles about dark rituals, demons, and the concept of evil. Some believe that's exactly what's drawing all this activity toward him, because, as they say, you can't surround yourself with darkness and expect the light to stick around. Or maybe it's all just coincidence. Let me know your thoughts on this one. In this next video, a group witnesses something terrifying that blurs the line between reality and the unknown. Have a look. Just as they were about to step into their camper, they started hearing this terrifying sound, almost like a horse neighing in the distance, but there was something off about it. It had this distorted, human-like tone, as if someone was trying to imitate the sound of a horse, and not doing a great job at it. Then, out of nowhere, a figure appeared, pacing slowly along the driveway. It moved oddly, like it was there, but not really there. After the video went viral, the theories started rolling in. Some say it could have been an animal that got caught in the camera's night vision, which made it look stranger than it was. Others completely ruled that out, saying the figure's movement was too uneven, and that the sound alone was way too unnatural. A few even claimed it reminded them of a skinwalker encounter they once saw online, where creatures mimic the sounds of animals or people to draw attention. So was it a ghost, a mimic, or something else entirely? I'll leave that for you to decide. Now, in this next video, some roommates started noticing that the furniture in their house kept moving overnight, and each time it got a little worse. They knew it wasn't an intruder, so they decided to set up more cameras, hoping that the next time it happened, they'd finally catch whatever was causing it. Watch this. If you look closely, you'll notice a figure moving. Then the door creaks open and a pale white anomaly drifts out, right before the other door to the left swings open, almost like that same presence had shifted across the room. Moments later, the chair slides back on its own. Whatever was in that house was restless, but things were only getting started. Now, imagine coming home to watch that footage, realizing all of it happened when the house was completely empty. It's almost like whatever's there wants them to know they're not alone, and that is what makes it even more disturbing. Now, the lady in this next video has lived in this house all her life, and not once has she ever heard anything strange she couldn't explain. But recently, she picked up a new hobby, doll collecting. And not just any dolls, the really old antique ones that already look like they've seen too much. At first, it was innocent. She'd find them in thrift stores, sometimes at yard sales, and bring them home to clean and display. But soon after, she started doing something else. She began talking to them, asking questions, even using pendulums, just to see if any of them would respond. And now, this is happening. Watch.
It's happened before up there on the roof, like inside the house. Something's just knocking. I don't really know, like... It stopped. No, it's still going. What the f is that noise? It's so weird.
Now, she could have easily brushed it off and said, well, maybe they're finally answering. But the thing is, it's been weeks since she last tried contacting them, and lately she started hearing other strange things, like 3 slow taps coming from her bedside table every night before she goes to bed. Viewers are split. Some believe she might have opened a line of communication without realizing it. Whatever it is, one thing's clear. Things only started changing when she brought those dolls home. Now, in this next clip, a mother comes home to find her daughter saying the strangest things, talking about someone in the room, how the man in the corner watches them when they play, and how their toys sometimes move on their own. At first, she thought it was all imagination, maybe something they picked up from a movie or a story they heard at school. But after days of hearing more and more unsettling comments, she'd had enough. She sat them down, tried explaining that what they were saying couldn't be real, and installed cameras, just to prove to herself that there was nothing there. And that's when she caught this. Of course, the floating balloon could have a few explanations, but what no one's been able to explain is how the cup suddenly fell. The weirdest part? Things like this almost never happen when she's around, so now she's genuinely scared. Some say it could be a spirit trying to get the kids' attention. Others think it's their imagination somehow manifesting into reality. Whatever's going on, this mom just wants answers. And honestly, who can blame her? In this next clip, a father has to do a lot just to get his son to sleep, because every night the boy insists that his scary friend is in the room. At first, he thought it was all part of a phase. Maybe the boy was having nightmares or had an overactive imagination. But then the strange things around the house started getting harder to ignore. Watch this.
You're scary now. No, you're not scary now. Yeah?
Scary friend. Scary friend.
This isn't the first weird thing that's happened. On some nights, the boy's toys start turning on by themselves. Other times, the father swears he hears faint whispering through the baby monitor, even when his son is fast asleep. He's tried changing rooms, unplugging the toys, even switching off the main power at night, yet somehow things still happen. Now he's starting to think maybe his son's scary friend isn't so imaginary after all. So what do you think? Is the boy really seeing something paranormal? Or is it all just coincidence? Let me know what you think. Now, in this next clip, a guy decides to start documenting the strange activity in the house he shares with two roommates and his cat. It all started in the summer of 2023 when, out of nowhere, a door slammed right into him. Ever since then, he's been hearing banging sounds from the other side, always when his roommates are out. Watch this.
There's banging sounds on the door. So close the door. It's ringing again.
His friends tried convincing him not to post it online, saying he'd only get comments claiming it's fake or that someone was pulling a prank. But he insists no one else was home that day. Not even his cat was in that part of the house. He says most people don't believe this stuff happens, until it happens to them. Still, he decided to post the video anyway, hoping someone might help him figure out what's really going on. Some viewers think it's a residual haunting, energy replaying itself over and over again. Others say it could be something attached to him rather than the house. Whatever the case, until he finds real answers, this one remains unresolved. In this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration in the old Berlin tannery factory, the same place we've shown in previous videos. While he was inside, an old wooden factory cart moved completely on its own, with no one anywhere near it. Anyone else would have taken that as a sign to get out, but Ian wanted answers. Watch this.
I see you down there. Could you push it again? I gotta go down there. I gotta go down there and look at that. Dude, that is insane. Oh gosh, careful. Oh. I mean, could it have been the wind? I mean, it is windy outside right now. It's storming. Oh gosh. Another freaking mannequin over there. Dude, how do you explain that? This thing does not look easy to move. Not at all. Yeah, dude, this thing, there's no way. There's no way. Oh, dude. What the f? Wait a minute. Are you taking that thing? Oh my God. All right, that's it. I'm done. Oh my gosh. That thing is freaking moving all over the damn place. Dude, that was so insane.
The old cart rattles back to life once again. Could this be the ghost of the tannery worker taunting me to leave his area?
All right, I'm gonna let you get back to work, okay? Holy shit.
According to local workers, a man tragically lost his life here decades ago, and now Ian can't help but wonder, could this be the spirit of that worker, still guarding his old workspace? Some viewers believe it's a classic case of a restless spirit, while others think the old factory itself somehow remembers the tragedy. Whatever the case, Ian says this was one of the eeriest nights he's ever spent here. But he's not finished yet. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by a woman named Carrie Ann, a mother who has known since the earliest days that her daughter was different. It started when her daughter was just a few weeks old. Carrie would find her staring into corners, giggling, or waving at things no one else could see. Carrie assumed it was nothing but the usual baby behavior until her daughter started describing people who weren't there, people who had been dead for years. At first, it frightened her, but after a while, she began to accept it and became convinced her daughter wasn't just seeing things, she was seeing spirits. One afternoon, on what seemed like a perfectly normal day, Carrie and her daughter went to visit Carrie's father's grave, and this happened.
Are you talking to the little kids? You say hello. Yeah. So she totally just stopped at this kid's grave and started talking to it. Of course, I didn't record it. Be nice.
When Carrie uploaded the footage, the responses and comments were overwhelming, but the majority agreed on one thing. The little girl is a medium. And here's the thing about mediums, many believe they're born with a thin veil between this world and the next, able to sense what others can't. Some even say they're messengers, while others say they're guardians. Whatever the case may be, we can only hope this little girl gets the guidance and support she needs to develop her gift, because this kind of gift, as strange as it may be, doesn't come to just anyone. You ever walk into a place that's beautiful on the outside, but something just doesn't feel right? Like the air's a little too still, and your gut tells you to stay alert? That's exactly how Jason Miller felt the first time he stayed at his friend's house. From the outside, you'd never guess. It's the kind of property you'd see on a postcard, surrounded by woods, with a koi pond, a fire pit, and a guest cabin. But for some reason, at exactly 9:30 p.m. every night, strange things begin to happen that make you feel something else is there too, something uninvited. Every night at exactly 9:30 p.m., the energy in the house shifts. It starts with cold spots, even in the middle of summer, then sometimes it's a strange smell, not mildew or anything you can explain, more like rotting flowers or burnt hair. Even the clocks in the house, no matter how many times they were replaced, would stop ticking at 9:33, and phone batteries drain out of nowhere. At first, they joked about it, but after one of their friends left the house one evening, right at 9:30 p.m., no one was laughing anymore. The rest of the group stayed behind, watching the security camera as she walked to her car, and what they saw still gives them chills. A dark, fast-moving figure passed, and a few seconds after they saw it, they saw wet footprints appear on the deck, but no one had come out of the water. After that night, the homeowner began thinking about selling, but Jason needed answers, so he contacted a local ghost hunter to investigate, and the findings were disturbing. Years ago, 4 men had been assassinated in that very house. No memorials, no headlines, just silence, and a history buried under renovation. That discovery changed everything, because now there's no more room for doubt. The nightly occurrences, the shifting energy, the figure on camera, none of it was coincidence. They are all paranormal activities, caused by not just one ghost, but 4. This next clip was recorded by a man named Elias, who had recently left the busy city behind and moved to a remote village tucked deep in the Austrian mountains. His nearest neighbor was a few kilometers away with no streetlights and no traffic, just a thick forest, endless silence, and something else. For the first few months, strange things happened. Lights flickering for no reason, distant knocks at night, and odd animal voices, but he brushed it off as just part of living in the wilderness. The price of peace, as he calls it, until one day he stepped into the bathroom, opened the window, and heard this.
Was zur Hölle? Das kommt vom Void, Alter.
It sounded like thousands of people screaming, like a stadium during a goal, but 10 times louder. And before anyone could argue it was just a local match or a concert, Lucas was clear. There were no soccer fields nearby, no events, no festivals, no reason for such a sound. It terrified him, especially because deep down, he'd always felt like he wasn't supposed to be there, and it didn't stop. It kept happening, night after night, sometimes for over an hour. Eventually, Elias decided he had to see for himself, so he took his camera and went into the woods.
So, today I heard the I don't know, voices or the sounds too. Like the other day, it was for like an hour or something. And I'm walking now in the forest, and the weird thing, oh, what the fuck? Oh. And the weird thing about forest, or about the noise, like when I got in the forest, no, it's okay. When I got in the forest, it stopped, and I think I heard something. Like when before I recorded, there was just a weird sound. And that's because I started the recording. Sorry for my poor English, I'm not the best at speaking English. Ich spreche eigentlich Deutsch, lol. I think I heard something. Like it rained for like half of the day. Just because everything here sucks. What the? Okay, no. I think it's time to go. Nope. It's very nope. I know I'm not like in a horror movie or something. I don't go to this weird noise. When I hear it, I just go. I know it's time to go. Yes. When I don't post on Reddit anymore, you'll know that I died. Oh, what the f?
It sounded like people chanting or spirits crying out through the woods, and it didn't happen once, but 3 times. At this point, he was convinced he had to listen to his gut, so he packed up and left, and honestly, can you blame him? When you're alone in a remote mountain village, hearing what sounds like spirits screaming, or in a cultic group, in a place with very few people, your mind starts to put pieces together, and none of the possibilities are comforting. The following clip was recorded by Matt, a young man whose family had gone on vacation, leaving him home alone for a few days. Now, Matt isn't new to paranormal activity. In fact, he's had a few brushes with strange activities, but nothing frequent, until his birthday week. At first, he didn't mind the silence, but as his birthday drew nearer, the house began to feel different. One afternoon, while he was relaxing in the living room, something strange and terrifying happened.
Bro. Move it again. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. In the name of Jesus, I banish you back to where you've come from. I banish you back to wherever the came from. This is not your house.
Being deeply religious, Matt did what he could, praying and commanding whatever it was to leave. But just when he thought the energy had passed, something else happened.
What was that, Tiberius?
What was that, Tiberius? Fundamental questions that we need to know as voters.
TV's too
per
loud.
economic
Bro, I
growth.
just heard
What is an opportunity
something
economy? What does that mean?
crazy,
Come to
bro.
facts.
I'm home alone.
When Trump was in office, the economy was higher, inflation was lower,
Bro, I'm telling you.
things were better overall, and now with Kamala's administration,
Bro, I'm telling you.
it's so fantastic. And she's saying she can fix the problems that her administration has caused, but I just don't know if I can afford to take that risk.
Race baiting and fear mongering was a big part of her tactic. I think he was gaslit during the entire debate, and that was probably why he was so defensive.
Bro, what was that?
And even when he brought up the topic of race, he brought that up because she's pandering.
Yeah. Look, these voters saw something about it, and we perhaps didn't. Kamala Harris was like an Oprah Winfrey quote book. I mean, she was just spewing these broad. It didn't resonate. The lack of specificity.
Did you hear that? What the? What? What the was that? Nah, bro. Yo, what the was that?
If you listen closely, you'll hear it. A whisper, low and chilling, saying, "Here." Now, most people would have packed their bags and left, but Matt stayed, thinking he could handle it until the next sign came, and this time, it was harder to ignore.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with these dogs, bro. They're scared of some. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. That's the second time I heard those bells, bro. The second time. I'm home all the fuck alone, bro. Nobody is home. Nobody. No one is home. Nobody is home. And those bells. What's wrong, Petey? What's wrong? What do you see? You see something? You see something over here? I'm telling you, those bells, I heard them twice. What the f is going on? Petey! 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 Petey, what's going on? The TV turned on. Petey, let's go. Go, Petey. Go out. Go out. Go. Go out. Go out. Go out. Go out. Go out. What the is going on? What the is going on? What the is going? It turned off. It turned off. Lucy, Bentley, let's go. Bentley, get out. Let's go. Tiberius, let's go. Get the out. Get the out. Get the out. Let's go. Tiberius. Lucy. Oh my God. Charlie, let's go. Come on. Come on, who's home? Come on, who's home? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Come on, T. Come on. Lucy.
His dogs were clearly panicking, and experts in the paranormal world often say that when a dog is afraid, especially without reason, it's often because they're sensing a presence or something dark. And those bells? They're one of the oldest signals of ghostly presence, either announcing arrival or trying to draw attention. Some even say spirits use bells to manipulate energy. One other thing is the timing. The timing of the balls falling on their own wasn't random, and together, all of these strange activities point to one thing: a demonic presence. Days later, things seemed to quiet down, and Matt thought the worst was over, but that's often when spirits become most deceptive, just quiet enough to make you drop your guard. Until this happened.
Bro, I'm playing COD. My whole PlayStation turns off. And this door opens up by itself. And it was closed because What the was that? What? And the light's going again. And the light's going again. And right there is the light switches to that light. And guess what else I'm about to tell you? Nobody's home. Oh my God. What? And the dogs want no fucking part of it. And why is that door open? Bro? It's coming in threes. It's coming in threes. If you don't believe me, nobody's home. There is the notes that my mom left me when they go on vacation. Honestly, I'm scared as hell right now. Lucy is scared as right now too, actually. Oh my God, bro. I really don't want to look behind this fucking door. Oh my God, bro. What the bro? Bro, what the is going on here, bro? I gotta get out of here, bro. I gotta get the dogs. I'm out of here. Let's go. Get up now. Get up, Petey. We're going. Bentley, come on. This way. Let's go. I'm done making this fucking video. I don't care about this shit anymore. I gotta get these dogs out of this fucking house. Get out. Bentley, come on. Bro, it's Friday the 13th too. I just realized I got all the dogs out here. And there's my... Oh my God. Did you guys just see that? Bro! Nah. This ain't a game anymore, bro. This shit is up. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Did you guys just see that light going off in my house?
Doors opening on their own, even though they were locked, lights flickering, always at the same time of night, and most disturbing of all, the activity didn't stop even after Matt left the house. That night, he finally contacted the family priest, and honestly, After everything he's been through, we hope the prayers and blessings are strong enough to banish the demon. This footage comes from a woman named Eliza, and what you're about to see is the final proof she needed to believe what she'd been trying to ignore. Eliza and her brother worked the night shift at a small town movie theater, the kind of town where everyone's heard the rumors, but no one really talks about them. The theater was supposed to be just a job, quiet, simple, routine, but from the very first night, she knew something was wrong. One night, while cleaning out one of the auditoriums, she heard something no one ever expects in an empty theater, a baby crying. At first, she tried to rationalize it, maybe a family was leaving late, but the theater had already been closed for hours, so she checked the entire building. Every auditorium, every hallway, and the only other person there was her brother. When she told him, he didn't believe her and insisted she was hearing things due to stress, but she couldn't shake the feeling. And a few weeks later, her brother was next to getting the scare of his life. During his night shift, he was alone in the bathroom, mopping up, when suddenly, a thick black cloud formed right in front of him. This was not smoke, it wasn't steam, it had shape, mass, and a very strange movement. This was their breaking point, and a few weeks later, they both left the job, deciding it wasn't worth the unease they felt every shift. But then, months later, a coworker sent them something, a clip. According to Eliza, this was the same dark figure standing in the projection area, and although people who weren't there might try to explain it away by saying it's a bird, a bat, or a shadow, Eliza knew better because she'd seen that shape before and felt its presence. Also, with every other encounter stacked against it, there's no other explanation I can get behind, other than the obvious one. That place was haunted. In the following video, a man witnesses something completely unexplainable, and luckily the security camera inside their home caught it too. That morning, his wife had left her phone resting on the arm of the couch before heading to the washroom. She was gone for less than 10 minutes, but shortly after she came out, this happened. Watch. Unfortunately, their camera didn't capture the armrest in frame, so there's no clear evidence of how the phone moved. But according to them, there was nothing around that could have pushed it in such a way, and the way it slid looked intentional rather than accidental. And to make matters worse, this isn't the first time something like this has happened in their home. Almost 2 years earlier, in that same living room, the husband was watching TV while his wife was in their bedroom nearby, sitting on the floor in front of her tall mirror doing her makeup. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he heard a loud thud, her phone dropping onto the floor. Now, at first, he assumed it was her clumsy mistake, because she's known for dropping her phone often, but she wasn't even holding it. His mind quickly went to the next most logical answer. Maybe one of their cats had knocked it down, but the cats were still too young to climb that high. Adding to all this, the couple admits they've heard unsettling noises coming from the basement before. Still, they insist they're skeptics, so they don't want to call it a ghost, even if the activity keeps happening. So, what do you think really happened here? In this next clip, a young woman was out on a date at her local bar when her home security camera, set up mainly to check in on her dog and cat, sent her a notification of movement. Naturally, she assumed it was her pets wandering around, but when she opened the footage, she realized this was no ordinary check-in. Watch closely.
Transfer for general. No.
She later confirmed that no one else was home at the time, yet the footage not only showed movement, it also captured strange voices inside her house. She couldn't make out exactly what they were saying, but the tone was enough to leave her unsettled. Naturally, people began speculating. Some believe it could have been intruders, except there were no signs of forced entry and nothing was stolen. Others suggested maybe the voices came from outside, neighbors perhaps, but the placement of the camera and the clarity of the sound make that explanation less convincing. To this day, she says she still doesn't know what the voices were, but one thing is certain: it's hard to enjoy a night out when your phone buzzes with footage like that waiting for you. The thing about cameras is that they simply capture what happens, whether or not we're ready to believe it. And sometimes, what they capture leaves us with more questions than answers. This next clip, recorded by a local store's CCTV camera, is a perfect example. Watch closely. There's been plenty of debate about what exactly happened here. Some claim it's nothing more than a draft, but skeptics point out how unlikely it is for a gust of wind to move the toy in such a deliberate, almost playful motion. Others argue it was left switched on, and maybe a faulty motor caused it to roll. On paper, that sounds reasonable, but here's where things start to get odd. The toy hadn't been touched for hours, and the store was completely empty at the time. Not only that, but many who analyzed the footage pointed out that the wheels move in a way that looked like someone was pushing it, and this isn't the first time strange activity has been reported in the store. A few locals claim items have fallen off shelves without explanation, and workers sometimes hear faint footsteps after closing. That makes this clip much harder to dismiss as a simple mechanical error. So what do you think? Is this just a case of failed wiring and basic physics? Or did the store's security cameras accidentally capture a ghost playing with a toy? This next clip was posted with the sole aim of getting help from people to debunk it, especially because, for as long as he can remember, growing up in the Philippines, he was always sensitive to the paranormal. He and his brother were raised in their grandparents' home, a place where they often heard footsteps in empty hallways, dishes rattling in the kitchen at night, and whispers from rooms no one was in. At the time, they thought it was simply the nature of the house, but deep down, it never left their minds. Now that he lives alone, something he admits was a bold step after everything he experienced growing up, he's started noticing subtle signs again. Lights flickering for no reason, shadows darting across his living room wall, and that unmistakable feeling that someone else is there when he knows he's alone. And then, one night while he was watching a movie, this happened. The next day, he took the TV for repair, convinced it was broken, but it wasn't. And now, the same thing has been happening at the exact same time every night, never during the day. What he's dealing with remains a mystery to him, but after trying to move on from a childhood full of unexplained events, he can't help but wonder if his haunting days are starting all over again. Now, this next clip was recorded inside a barbing salon while one of the barbers was attending to a customer and the other two were chatting casually, until something unsettling happened. Pay close attention to the mannequin head and the blue cape in this clip.
This is what I was talking about. So when it goes American Idol, we put this inside the big music note. I was telling them we'll make like a big music note and then put that in there. But like a big thing inside of its head. So that would be where you like a little spotlight.
Oh shit, oh hell to the no. Hell no. Did you just, oh shit, oh hell no. There's some crazy shit going on up in there.
Guys, calm down. Right to the top.
Okay, well guys, that shit right there just moved. Just, oh, fuck that. Oh.
Hey!
Hey! Can we put a security tape back? Because that just moved. Like that just moved. Like that just moved.
What are you talking about?
I'm not gonna praise you. That right there just moved.
Alright, what?
Like it just, oh, fuck, no.
If the cape had shifted on its own, it shouldn't have gone in that direction. And the creepiest part? The mannequin head actually turned, and there's no way a simple draft could account for both of those movements. And if you're wondering why one of the guys bolted the way he did, that wasn't overreacting. That was pure instinct. Most people don't wait around to analyze the situation when something unexplainable happens. Fear makes you choose the nearest exit, and that's exactly what he did. But here's the thing. He didn't run just because of this incident. For the past 2 weeks, strange things have been happening in that salon. One time, mirrors fogged up with handprints when no one else was there, so when the mannequin head moved, he didn't stick around to see what would happen next. Still, he seems to be the only one taking it seriously, while the others laugh it off. But if things keep escalating like this, they might not be laughing for long. In this next clip, a man who had been relaxing alone at home after a long day got a surprise visit he never expected, the kind that makes your stomach drop before you even process what's happening. Watch this. Most people confronted with something spooky would instinctively reach for a stick, maybe a broom, the classic tools for shooing away unwanted visitors. But this man, he went for a gun. And it's hard to ignore his grip on the gun. But then again, do you really bring a gun to a ghost fight? At that moment, he didn't care. The sudden crash he heard had him convinced someone had broken in. And sometimes fear takes over logic, and the idea of an intruder hiding in the shadows was enough to push him into full combat mode. Now, this next video was recorded on March 26th around 12:30 a.m. when a couple were asleep and suddenly woke up to the sound of the husband's truck alarm blaring non-stop. Out of pure confusion and a bit of fear, the husband asked his wife to pull up the camera feed to see who was in the truck. What made it even stranger is that he hadn't locked the truck, meaning the alarm wasn't even set to go off. This is what they saw. Take a close look at the front of the truck near the windshield in the first few seconds. When the husband rushed outside, there wasn't a single scratch on the truck. Nothing was left behind on the ground. No sign of forced entry, and no reason why the alarm should have gone off at all. So what exactly did they miss that night? This next clip was posted by a mother crying out for help, desperate to understand the strange things happening around her baby. She had already noticed little things, toys turning on by themselves even when their batteries had been removed, and the baby often looking and laughing at corners of the room where no one was standing. At first, she brushed it off as coincidence, but one morning she woke up to this recording from her baby's monitor. Keep your eyes on his diaper. It looks as though something is grabbing onto the diaper while the baby squirms uncomfortably. After seeing this, she immediately decided her baby would never sleep alone again, and now only lets him sleep in her room. She hopes it's over, and honestly, we all do too. The following video was captured by Sarah and her friend Sean when they went to check out an abandoned building nobody in town goes near anymore. Watch this.
Hello? Was that your stomach? Was it?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Baby, stop. No, it wasn't.
That was not my...
What the fuck?
What the fuck is it? Are you sure?
I'm not kidding.
Okay. We didn't even shut the door. That's okay. You promised though?
Yes.
It sounded like a, right? It sounded like it was right next to us.
It sounded like hello.
Yeah, and it sounded like it was right next to us. Okay. Just one more time. You promise that wasn't your stomach?
Baby. Yes.
I mean, I heard you right after go. Alright, well, we got what we came for. I've never ran from something so fast in my life. Wait, I've been recording.
You'll notice the entity replied instantly and knocked back when they knocked, and when they said hello, a voice responded. They didn't waste any time. They rushed out of there, their nerves completely shot. But what they found out afterward made their brief encounter even more chilling. Locals later told them that years ago, the building had been used as a boarding house, and that one of the tenants, a man who lived in the upper floor, was rumored to have died inside after being isolated and neglected. People say he spent his last days knocking on the walls, trying to get someone's attention, but no one ever came. Hearing that, Sarah and Sean couldn't shake the feeling that the knocks they heard weren't random creaks of an old building, but the desperate echo of someone still trying to answer back after all these years. Which makes you wonder, did they walk away from just another abandoned structure, or from a place where someone's voice is still waiting to be heard? Now, in this next clip, a man is describing the strange occurrences that have been plaguing his house when something else turns up on camera. Watch closely.
I've lived in this house for probably close to a year now, and I've never had anything happen here. I've never once thought that there was any kind of like haunting stuff going on or ghosts or anything like that. Until a couple weeks ago when I was given kind of a strange gift. I am really into like spooky decor, funeral home stuff, like all that. I love it. But a friend of mine messaged me and was like, hey, I'm at this estate sale and they have like all this funeral home stuff. Do you want any of it? They had an actual like embalming table, which I really wanted, but they were asking way too much money for it. They had all these old bottles and stuff like that. And I said, just give me something. And they ended up getting me these like lab grade like test tube things. And these are like legit Pyrex brand, like super high quality glass, right? Came from a funeral home. So I'm totally into it, right? So I bring them in the house, I clean them up, and I don't quite know where I'm gonna put them yet.
While he's mid-story, trying to explain the late-night noises and the odd chills, there's a figure standing just behind the door. Then, in a blink, it's gone. People jump to conclusions fast, calling it a malevolent presence, and it's easy to see why. The man had recently bought a handful of odd items at an estate sale, stuff that came from a closed funeral home. He chalked it up to quirky decor at first, but the soundscape around his house changed after that. Those delicate, high-pitched glass noises you get when a thin crystal or a lamp edge is tapped. A quick tinkle, a soft chime, the kind of clink that makes you turn your head. He'll hear those tiny glass notes echo through the night, check the room, and everything sits exactly where it should. He's no stranger to spooky decor, he collects the macabre on purpose, but even he says this is different. The items arrived silent, the house didn't. Now, with a shadow appearing in the doorway while he talks about it, the line between coincidence and something far darker feels dangerously thin. So, was that a trick of light, a camera artifact, or something that shouldn't be in his house at all? You decide. The lady in the next clip woke up at 4:19 a.m. by the sound of something heavy hitting the floor. A crash that made her heart pound. But when she got up to look, there was nothing out of place. She'd had a recent scare. Someone tried the front door a few nights earlier, so she didn't want to dismiss it. She pulled up the footage from the cameras she'd installed after the near break-in, and this is what she found. Watch. When she posted the clip, a few viewers suggested poltergeist-style activity, objects thrown or toppled by an unseen force when tensions or emotions are high in a home. She wants this to be a one-off, and she's already told close family it's probably nothing and that she'll double-check the hooks. But she also admits she sleeps with a lamp on now and checks the locks twice. So what do you think? Something to overlook, or something that shouldn't be dismissed that easily? I'll leave this one with you. This next clip was captured by another friendly ghost believer who claims the ghost haunting her house actually listens to her. Watch this.
So guys, my door. There's a ghost in my room and it closes my door. It's gonna be a while, but you're gonna see it. Come on, close it. You're almost there. Close my door. Close it. No, I don't want you to open it. Close it. Just close it already. Do it. Come on. I do not have all fucking day. Close it so I can go to sleep. Thank you, I guess.
Several people brushed it off as coincidence, but she insists otherwise. She says there are moments when she asks the ghost to stop slamming doors or to turn the lights back off, and to her surprise, it does. Sometimes it even feels like the activity changes depending on her mood, calmer when she's calm, louder when she's upset, almost as if it's responding to her. But isn't there a reason the words ghost and haunting are so often paired together? The very word haunting suggests something unsettling, a presence that lingers where it doesn't belong. Still, there are those who believe not all hauntings are meant to frighten. Some say spirits can linger out of attachment, sarmi, to a person, a place, or even a routine. And in those cases, they might not be hostile at all. They might even try to coexist in their own strange way. Others argue that what seems friendly could be a trick, pointing out that a presence that starts off harmless may shift over time, wearing down trust before revealing darker intentions. So, would you welcome a presence like this, or would you be looking for a way out? Now, this next video is about a man who believes his late wife's ghost is haunting him, and he claims he has several CCTV footage to prove it. Watch this.
Guys, this is just a quick update because I gotta get to work, but when I got up this morning to get my coffee, I walked into the kitchen and saw this. So I guess you guys were right that activity seems to be picking up because I have been, doing renovations. I replaced all this stuff, this dishwasher, this stove, the oven hood there, but this morning when I came into the kitchen, I noticed the cabinet was open, and then I noticed this chair. So I checked the Ring video, and it definitely
If it really is her, then it seems she doesn't approve of the new renovations he's made around the house. But that's not the only thing he's had to deal with. He says the TV sometimes switches to her favorite shows late at night, no matter what channel he leaves it on. He's found picture frames of them together moved to the floor, almost as if someone didn't want them displayed. And more than once, he's woken up to the faint scent of her perfume lingering in their bedroom, even though the bottle has been empty for years. At first, he thought it might have been comforting, like she was still with him. But now, with things being knocked over, lights flickering every time he talks about moving forward, and shadows caught on his cameras, it's starting to wear him down. So the real question is, if this truly is his wife's spirit, how does he find peace without feeling like he's abandoning her memory? And if it isn't her, then what exactly is haunting him, and how does he ever escape it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. The following clip was recorded by a woman who runs a cleaning business and spent the day at a mansion where the previous owners said every cat in the house had died in the same room. While she worked, she noticed a tiny movement just out of the corner of her eye, and at one point, a shadow that didn't match anything in the room. She shook it off because the work had to be done, but the house lingered with her. That night, after she left and tried to sleep, the nightmares began. She woke from a shallow dream of tiny paw prints crossing her kitchen floor and of a cramped, filthy room where something small and frightened tapped at a window that would never open. When she told friends, they chalked it up to the day's stress, until the next job proved otherwise.
Oigan, ¿qué es eso de ahí? No sé qué sea. ¿Escuchan? Como si golpearan la brea. Oigan, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué podrá ser? No sé si logran escuchar. Aquí ya me han apagado la luz anteriormente. Me da miedo pasar por el pasillo. Hello. Ay, no. Ya me quiero ir, estoy esperando la ropa, ya me quiero ir. Se está escuchando muchísimos ruidos. Escucha que gritan. ¿Qué será? Voy a poner la segunda parte. Se están escuchando muchísimas voces. Me tengo que ir.
The next job she had was at a house where the owner took his own life, and as she finished cleaning, she saw something strange.
Si a donde te acabas de mudar te espantan, has vivido o estás viviendo en un apartamento, miren chicos, esos dedos también se mira como marca de dedos. Es increíble cómo va a ser esa marca ahí si ya limpiamos. Además se ve como que si se hubiera agarrado de allá arriba. Puedo creerlo. Es que ya aquí prácticamente ya se terminó. Nada más es recoger eso y vámonos. Ya vámonos, güey. ¿Escuchaste la puerta? Ya vámonos. Sí. Ahorita te ayudo ahí. Sí. ¿Escuchaste cómo se escuchó la puerta? Sí, ya nada más nos falta terminar aquí para irnos. ¿Miraste la mano que se quedó en el refri? Está de arriba. Así que, sí, ahí arriba. Ponme un comentario si donde vives espantan. No, ya sé, ya nos vamos a ir. O sabes que haya pasado algún crimen, algo malo, ponme un comentario.
The handprint was too small to be an adult's, and she'd cleaned every surface with bleach and steam. Nothing should have been left behind. People who follow her videos say her job makes her vulnerable, and that the work forces her into intimate spaces filled with memory, lies, and stale emotions. Luckily, she's found a way to protect herself, so taking anything home is not something she's worried about anymore. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian continued his exploration at a cemetery near Timberlake Road with stories about the woman in white who lost her entire family in a single day and, unable to cope, ended her own life. As he walked deeper through the quiet street, he eventually found the cemetery where her family was laid to rest. And that's when things started happening.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That freaking sounds like children in there. I keep hearing like high-pitched voices. Hello? Ghostly children? Is that you I'm hearing? I definitely have the feeling that I am not alone in here. I am just waiting for something to pop out at me. Hello? Oh my god! Oh god, what the hell was that now? Freaking sounded like something rustling over here in one of these bushes. I mean, it could be an animal, to be fair. Hello? Oh, dude! That was a freaking child's voice again! I'm getting freaked out already. I just barely entered this place.
At first, Ian pulled out his spirit box to try and open a line of communication, but before he could even focus on the static voices, something else caught his eye.
How old are you? What was that? What was that? Holy moly, something just flew by that freaking tree over there. Oh my god, what the heck was that? Hello?
A pale shape drifted just out of view, gone before he could get a clear look. And then, by one of the graves, he noticed something strange. A ball, perfectly still on the ground. Ian swore it wasn't there moments earlier, but as he raised his camera to take a few pictures, what he saw left him absolutely stunned.
Little boy or little girl, whoever you are, could you move this ball again, just like you did? Even just a little tiny bit. That would be wonderful. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god! What was that? Dude, something just showed up in that photo. It was a freaking figure. It was standing right there. Standing right by the freaking tombstone. Holy sh**. Oh my god. Holy crap, dude. It was literally just standing there. Vivid. It looked like a little kid. Short in stature. It was almost as tall as his freaking gravestone. I'm sorry, I hope I didn't scare you. You just kind of scared me a little bit. Oh my freaking god. I want to look back at that photo, but I want to keep taking them just in case something else shows up. I think I'm going to take a look at it. Oh my god, there it is. There it is. Holy
Dude, that's like a freaking figure. It literally looks like a child. Oh my god. It literally looks like a freaking child standing there. Except it's like non-physical. Like a spirit. Oh my god, that is absolutely insane. Holy crap. I have got goosebumps everywhere right now. No way! No way! No way! It freaking just rolled over there now! Holy shit!
This was the moment Ian decided he'd gone far enough. He left the cemetery unsettled and unsure if he had just crossed paths with the woman in white herself, or if it was the restless spirits of her children reaching out through the silence. Either way, one thing is clear. Something still lingers here, and it doesn't want to be forgotten. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video is about a mother who thinks her son might be seeing a ghost. She has caught very deep and strange breathing sounds on the camera she installed in his room, and lately, he's been acting a little strange. But she wants to be sure she's not just overreacting. Watch. She could have brushed it off as nothing more than a toddler's tantrums, but what troubles her is how it seems to happen at the same time every single night. After she posted this clip, viewers began asking questions like, where did she get the crib? Some suggested that if not the crib itself, maybe something in his room carries an energy that could trigger this behavior. Others wondered if it could be connected to the house, perhaps something about its history she doesn't yet know. And then there are those who argue it might truly be nothing more than the baby being a baby. Kids can sometimes wake up crying or pointing at things we can't see. But when you combine the strange breathing sounds, the timing, and the child's behavior, it does make you wonder, is this just coincidence or something far stranger? This next clip is about a lady named Len who loves doll collections and has numerous toys in her house, some that her kids play with and others that just sit tucked away in creepy corners. Len is also known for her popular story times online, where she shares her personal paranormal encounters from childhood, and during these sessions, her audience sometimes notices eerie things happening in real time, strange figures in the background, unexplained noises, even knocks that sync with her words. And because she occasionally streams live, viewers insist it can all be editing tricks. One day, while home alone and joking around during a live session, this happened.
Okay, everyone's been saying, look under your sink because it's about to be a mess. Let's see. Ah! It was Chucky! What the? Okay, I didn't plan this one. Chucky was just supposed to pop out, but his hair is moving. Holy shit. What the hell? Okay, I really do. Oh, move, goddammit. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, joke's over. Joke's over. I was about to say we got haunted dolls in this house. Oh my god. Y'all probably wondering why I have my fingers in the video the whole time. It's because TikTok thinks I'm stealing content. Okay? It thinks that I'm stealing y'all's videos and uploading them myself, trying to get the I don't know, the views. I don't know what it thinks I'm doing. But I ain't. It's my video. I made the video. That's my Chucky doll in my apartment about 3 years ago. That Chucky doll I've had for like 10 years. It's never moved until I got those dolls. And then all of a sudden it moves. And people that are making videos on that actual clip have the story wrong. I did not just throw that Chucky doll under there for the hell of it. It was a part 2 to another video that I'm gonna go ahead and post it on here too, so it makes sense to you. Is Lou ready?
Right. Okay, I need this top. This.
Is it gonna work? Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, it does work. Oh, that was so bad. Oh, man. Okay, so I was recreating that video because they said you could clean your pipes using shaving cream. So I put the little swizzle straw down the hole, but then after I posted that video, everyone was like, if you look under your sink, you're about to have a mess because that little hole leads to under your sink. So I was making the video like, there's not a mess under there, it's Chucky. Like, it was a joke, but the joke went south, and the dolls played a joke on me. So, like, they got me. So that's why the Chucky doll was even under there. I was playing with my followers 3 years ago, and it just went south. Bad. After that Chucky doll did that, I spent 2 hours outside waiting on my mom and daddy to come pick me up because I would not go back in the apartment. I made my daddy go in there and investigate the Chucky doll and make sure, like, I don't know what I thought. It just freaked me out and it scared me. So I spent the rest of the day until my husband come home from work at my parents' house after that. And let me throw this in here real quick. The ghosts are messing with me posting videos. Like, I know a couple of videos ago, I was telling y'all how I couldn't upload videos. Like, the ghost was messing with my electronics. Well, they're doing it again on this video. I had to get my husband's phone to record and show you. Like, I was clicking, it would not let me record at all. I had to go down the street and post this video because it would not work. And I know there's going to be some people saying that it's just technical difficulties, whatever. No, because it only does this when I'm making, like, haunted content. When I'm making stupid, silly stuff, there's no problem with my phone whatsoever. But if I try and post something the ghost done, boom. But here's the video. This is the stuff I'm talking about, okay? The phone is froze. It will not let me post videos. The ghost is messing with me. I try to upload videos and stuff, and this is the type of shit that the ghost does. Messing with my electronics.
The way the doll's hair shifted on its own, followed by the unmistakable voice of a man, had viewers unsettled. Some speculated that the voice was directly connected to the doll, almost like it was a vessel being used to communicate. Others suggested that maybe Len's long history with paranormal activity has attached something to her, and the dolls are just perfect objects for it to manipulate. Of course, people debate why anyone would even keep so many dolls in the first place, especially when they're known to creep people out. For some, dolls are nostalgic. They represent childhood or family traditions. For collectors like Len, they're works of art, and sometimes even valuable antiques. But in the paranormal world, many believe dolls are perfect conduits for spirits because of their human-like form. For a while, Len laughed these strange moments off, but things shifted when the activity suddenly stopped when she became pregnant, only to start up again suddenly. More intense than before. Watch this.
I'm home alone with the baby, and these toys keep going. See that monkey over there? You have to push the top for it to go, and it makes a little peeling out sound, and then it shoots across the floor and lights up. It kept going when I'm sitting over there on the couch. My baby's asleep right there on the floor. And then this toy right here.
my baby. It's went off like 10 times already. You have to push the nose. You have to push the, like, I don't know, you have to push the nose. Like those 3 buttons right there, you have to push. And it just keeps. I gotta check on my baby. It's also like a push button that you have to, if it like starts to roll. God damn it. They're right there. God damn it. Jesus Christ. My baby in here. Okay, I'm turning on the light. I'm staying right here. I can see my baby. You have to push the nose or those buttons for it to come off.
The fact that she recently got 4 new dolls, all said to be haunted and all for free, sent speculation into overdrive. Some people think the timing is too perfect and that she may have unintentionally invited something back into her home. Others suggest the house itself might be haunted and the dolls are just convenient vessels for whatever is there. But many of her longtime followers pointed out a chilling detail. She left her previous home because of hauntings, but she also left with the dolls. And now, in a new home, the same cycle is repeating itself. It's hard not to think that this looks less like coincidence, and more like something that's following her, waiting for the right moment to show itself again. In this next clip, a couple's house suddenly started reeking of rotten eggs, and at first they thought it was something simple. Maybe spoiled food left in the fridge, a dead animal under the floorboards, or even a gas leak. They hired an exterminator to check for pests, a plumber to inspect the pipes, and even had their gas lines checked for leaks. They scrubbed the floors, cleaned out the vents, replaced carpets, and burned through endless air fresheners. But no matter what they did, the smell never went away, and soon the odor wasn't the only thing they had to worry about. Strange, almost unreal activity started happening around their home. Lights flickered even after an electrician ruled out wiring issues. Heavy footsteps echoed down the hallway when no one else was home, and doors slammed with such force that picture frames fell from the walls. And one night, they woke to find the dining chairs stacked on top of each other in the middle of the kitchen. Something neither of them could explain. One afternoon, while the husband was at work and his wife was trying to get some sleep, this is what their Ring camera caught.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Dude. Baby, what took you so long to answer? Dude, the house smells like literally like rotten egg. Like, it literally smells like you forgot to take the trash out or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but this shit, like, I literally feel like I'm about to puke. I was just taking a nap and the house smells disgusting. Yeah, I'll open the door. I don't know if that's going to do much, though. The door's open. I don't know. I need a fan or something. You need to get home and, like, air, like, do something in here. Did you take the trash out? What the fuck? The lights are fucking flickering now, dude. Baby, stop! What the fuck? Baby!
It's said that when a home starts to smell like rotten eggs, or worse, like rotting flesh, it's often considered a sign of demonic activity. In religious lore, demons are said to give off foul odors as a way of marking their territory, and when viewers noticed the cross on the wall suddenly shifting on its own, that only fueled the speculation. For many, the dots connected too perfectly. A foul smell that refuses to go away, escalating paranormal events, and a religious symbol being disturbed. So, are this couple truly dealing with a demonic presence like so many believe? Or is there another explanation for all of this that we're somehow missing? Sometimes when people say they don't like being alone, it's not just because of boredom, loneliness, or even fear of intruders. For some, it's because of the unexplained things they silently deal with inside their own homes, the kind of things they can't really share with friends without being laughed at or dismissed as crazy. And that's exactly how the lady in this next clip, named Leah, feels. Watch this. You really can't blame her for running because not everyone can stomach the idea of something else, something they can't even see, living in their house rent-free. Whether she later came back alone, got a roommate, or decided to leave the house entirely is still unknown, as no update has surfaced yet. But as much as many people applaud her decision to run for her life, there are others who believe staying and fighting is the better choice. So which side are you on? Run or fight, and why? Summed. This next clip is about a woman who just lost her stepdad, and she's been documenting the strange things that have started happening around her mom's house. What makes it such a big deal for her is the unsettling pattern she's noticed over the years. Every time they lose a loved one, electronics connected to that person, either something they bought or something they loved, starts to malfunction. In her own words, it's never just random. When her grandmother passed that same day, multiple devices turned on and off all at once, far too many to be brushed off as coincidence. And now, after her stepdad's passing, something similar is happening again. Watch this.
Is that you, Bill? Yes? No? Bill?
Can you get closer?
Is that you? Baby, is that you? Turn it on and off again. Bill? Is that you coming through there? I love you. Come back on. There you go. Bill? Maxie? Are you together? Yes? Come back on. Once for yes, Bill. Yes? Is Max with you? Once, yes? Where's Maxie? With you? Bill? Are you there? Turn it off again. Bill? Is Max with you?
Are you gone? Found something you can get up, come on and off with, huh?
It raises the question, when people pass on, do both the living and the non-living somehow know? Could this be her stepdad trying to reach out through the only way he can? Or is it all just coincidence wrapped in grief? What unsettles her most is that her parents had this particular lamp for years, and it never flickered once, until the very day her stepdad passed. She still doesn't have a convincing explanation, so to her, it's still one big mystery. Now, in this next clip, the popular ghost hunter Ian, also known as the Midwest Ghost Hunter, went to explore a cemetery near Timberlake Road when this happened.
Oh God. What was that? I just freaking heard something move through the water. Whatever it was. All right, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Oh, shit. Whatever that was terrifying. Dude, something just like freaking hissed at me from over there. It did not sound human, whatever it was. I don't care what anyone says about me. Chickening out, I am not going back over there.
Shaken, he left that area and headed in another direction to conduct a session with his spirit box, determined to confirm the rumors about this place. The legend tells of a woman who lost her entire family in a single day while she was away searching for food, and the spirits of her loved ones are said to linger there still. Many have seen phantom hounds with glowing eyes darting through the trees, shadowy figures watching silently from the woods, and in the small cemetery nearby, countless claims of ghostly children playing among the gravestones. With his spirit box, Ian got a terrifying response. Watch.
What is the name of your family? We all died. That's what this just said. It just sounded like either we are all dead or we all died. I am so sorry. Is the mother that hung herself, is she out here? Could you speak to me and tell me why you're still here? Oh my God, that was freaking disturbing. That sounded like a woman crying on there.
The responses he got only made Ian more determined to investigate further, but it also left viewers wrestling with an unsettling question. Is it only those who suffer tragic, violent deaths who remain as spirits in our world? If so, how do we explain those who claim to see the presence of loved ones who pass peacefully, without pain? Or perhaps it's not about how one dies at all. Maybe no one truly leaves after death. Maybe we all remain here in some form, drifting through the same world as the living, brushing past each other now and then, only occasionally felt or seen. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following clip is about KC, a guy well known for reporting conspiracies about UFOs, but lately something strange has been happening to him, and now he's starting to wonder if it could be what's called the hitchhiker effect. For those who don't know, the hitchhiker effect is a bizarre phenomenon often linked to UFO encounters or research. The idea is that once you interact with something unknown, it follows you home, and suddenly, strange sounds, figures, or even objects begin to appear around you, almost as if you've been marked. For Casey, it started small. He'd notice objects in his home suddenly appearing in odd places, things he swore he never moved. Then came the nights where he'd hear a high-pitched buzzing or frequency, almost like tinnitus but sharper, and it would change direction each time he tried to follow it. At first, he brushed it off as maybe stress or even some kind of tech interference, but as time went on, the disturbances grew harder to ignore. Then, on the 10th of August, Casey captured this. Watch.
Okay, something really, really weird happened a few minutes ago, and it's insane. I don't know if my apartment is haunted or what. Y'all tell me. This thing is vibrating, and I don't know why. Can you hear it? It was vibrating really loud, so I got up and moved it because I was trying to figure out what was happening. And now it's doing it again, but just not as hard. Hear it? Now what's this? It stopped. It stopped. I touched it. It stopped. Let's start again. What is going on? Is my house haunted?
Now, could this really be the hitchhiker effect like he suspects? Or, considering all the other unexplained things happening in his home, is it possible his house itself is haunted and the UFO angle is just a coincidence? Like always, I'll let you decide. This next clip was captured by a man who lives a simple life in Mexico, but now he's scared that his simple life is starting to look far too complicated. Unlike most paranormal stories he has heard of, which tend to happen late at night, his own experiences seem to happen at any hour, both day and night. On the 3rd of February 2024, he was simply trying to take an afternoon nap when this happened.
Estoy tratando de dormir, pero acabo de escuchar un golpe duro por allá en la sala, entonces decidí grabar porque hace días que se viene presentando cosas extrañas en el apartamento. Son las 4 y cuarto, 4:13 minutos de la tarde, entonces me parece muy extraño que hasta ahora estén sucediendo como cosas raras. Entonces, comedor. Miren, es en el comedor. Tengo las ventanas cerradas, miren. Nada. Esto viene sucediendo hace como una semana ya. Pues la verdad se me hace muy extraño. Se me hace muy extraño que esté pasando cosas así. No lo puedo creer. No lo puedo creer, miren. ¿Qué está pasando?
Now, if that's what he's dealing with in broad daylight, imagine what happens when the sun goes down. He claims that at night, he often hears heavy footsteps pacing just outside his bedroom door, sometimes followed by faint whispers, like someone speaking in a language he can't understand. On several occasions, he's woken up to the sound of objects moving in his kitchen, only to find chairs pulled away from the table, or cupboards wide open by morning. Sometimes it's a knock at his door, but when he opens it, no one's there. On one occasion, he swears he heard whispering right by his ear, but he was completely alone in the room. So what exactly is going on? Some believe he may be dealing with a restless spirit that simply doesn't care what time of day it is. Others think it's not a ghost, but maybe something tied to the land itself. Do you think it's any of this or something else entirely? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. There are several technologies out there now that people use to see if there's a ghost in their house. And while some of them are said to be credible, many others have been called out as fake, nothing close to authentic. In this next video, you might have to be the judge on whether this particular ghost tech is the real deal. The man in this clip has been hearing strange noises in his home, and you know how simply hearing things can become traumatic. When you're constantly startled by footsteps in an empty hallway, whispers in a silent room, or doors that creak open when no one's near them, it can mess with your mind. Every creak feels like a threat. Every whisper feels personal. And before long, you start dreading the silence because you know it's only a matter of time before it breaks again. According to him, the activity had been escalating. Doors closing when no one was nearby, objects left in one room suddenly appearing in another, and even the faint sound of someone breathing right behind him when he was alone. One weekend, while scrolling through his phone, he came across something unusual, an AI ghost detector. The app claimed it could scan your environment and reveal the image of anything hiding in your house. Skeptical but desperate for answers, he decided to give it a try. Have a look.
Alright, I'm terrified. What the fuck is that noise, bro?
So then I decided to try the ghost AI. You'll never believe what happens next.
Now, the part where he talks about dealing with stuff is quite believable, especially considering his past experiences. But the real question is, can this technology be trusted, or is it just another gimmick that preys on people's fears? Until we get more reviews and more evidence from others trying AI ghost detectors, this one remains unsolved. In the following video, a woman named Arya shares a very unsettling experience. Watch this.
Okay.
Somebody help me! I'm feeling behind. Help! Somebody help! Please. Somebody help me, please.
Now, if you're wondering what she was running from or who was chasing her, wait until you see what the security camera captured after that.
Y'all, so here's video of that girl that posted, and I'm gonna let y'all know now, it gets really weird. It's like she acting like she's running from something or hiding from something, but there's literally nobody else in the frame. Like she tweaking.
Yeah, it is weird.
And the elevator door is not even closing. Like she playing hide and seek or something. But look, this ain't even the craziest thing. Like now the elevator, look, the elevator door is closed. This ain't even the craziest thing about this video, though. I got like more video to show y'all, and it just gets super weird. So y'all just stay tuned.
There are a few deeply disturbing details here. First, the way she was covering her eyes, almost like she didn't want to see something, makes it feel as though she was seeing something nobody else could. Second, notice how the elevator doors refused to close, as if someone was standing right in front of it, but the moment she finally left, the doors suddenly closed on their own, almost confirming that something unseen was actually standing there with her. But the creepiest part comes next. Watch this.
Alright, y'all, so I went back and was looking at the video of that girl from the other day, right? Because I'm thinking maybe somebody must be following her because I found that thing in the bathroom. Like, you know, it makes sense that somebody's probably following her. Because not just any person is going to have that tool. I mean, that tool is for getting inside of rooms. So just keep watching the screen right here, man. I saw something that just... Because I'm thinking somebody's following her.
Watch, let me fast forward. Watch this.
Watch. That's just the housekeeper down there.
See?
Right there. Right there.
I don't know what that was.
This is crazy. How do y'all explain that? Somebody explain that to me. And y'all think that's crazy. Keep watching like right by that door right there, by that table. Keep watching right over by there. Whole time I'm thinking somebody following her. So we trying to go over the film and just keep watching. Look. My hand is shaking. Right there.
What is that?
What the heck? Bro, that's a rock from that table right there. Those are stones and those in bowls right there by that table. And that one of them stones just fell on the floor.
And there's no way that should happen because there's no wind in there.
Wind ain't even gonna do that though. This is crazy, yo.
I don't know.
Somebody explain this to me. Please somebody explain to me what the hell that just was.
The shadow in the footage only confirmed what most people feared. Something or someone was definitely chasing her. And the moment this clip surfaced, viewers immediately drew comparisons to one of the most infamous cases of all time, Elisa Lam at the Cecil Hotel. Just like Aria, Elisa was also seen running out of her room and behaving erratically inside an elevator, pressing multiple buttons at once, hiding in the corner as if avoiding someone, even making strange gestures with her hands. And not long after, her body was discovered in the hotel's rooftop water tank, with her clothes and belongings floating beside her. So naturally, people feared history was repeating itself here. And what they later discovered in Aria's room didn't help the situation. Watch this.
It's like all her stuff is just left here. Crazy.
You said what?
Don't get me on camera.
No, this is ridiculous. What the heck is this doing in here?
Yo, hold on, y'all. Why the this in here? Hold this. Yo, y'all. This is crazy.
Oh my God. What?
Well, at least you got some stuff you can take home.
The condition of the room and the strange things they found inside only raised more questions. Things scattered in ways that didn't make sense, objects left in disturbing positions, and details that hinted she might not have been alone. But what makes this even stranger is what happened later that night in the same hotel. Watch this.
Keep in mind, there's no construction going on. Nothing. But there's always some type of banging or clattering going on.
This clip made many believe the hotel itself could be the real problem. Some even claim this is still the Cecil Hotel, only rebranded under a different name, with the same eerie elevator still operating in its halls. And as speculation spread, another clip was released, this time not just video, but audio. Listen closely. The audio is very unsettling, and at some point it sounds like voices, dozens of them, all talking at once. But whatever it is, until a clearer version surfaces, all of this remains one big mystery. This next clip is about an apartment complex in Houston, Texas, where residents have been complaining about strange sightings and happenings, not just inside their homes, but also around the complex itself. For months now, residents have been reporting unusual activity, doors slamming shut without warning, strange shadows moving across their walls at night, and even whispers echoing in hallways when no one is around. One day, a lady and her friend were discussing the strange things they'd seen in their own apartments, comparing notes about the odd knocks, the disembodied voices, and even shadows that dart across the walls when they're alone. They just so happened to be having this conversation near the spot where one of the old guards was stationed. Curious, he decided to speak up. And not only did he confirm what they were saying, he went further, pulling out footage he had captured himself that, in his words, proved the complex is definitely not normal. Watch this.
I've been told there's ghosts over here. I don't believe it. But somehow this door just came open by itself. And I go to look, and look. It's a damn broom standing out there by itself. I think I'm gonna leave that door open. I ain't going nowhere near that.
According to multiple residents, this very spot in the video has always been considered one of the most paranormal corners of the property. Doors have been seen opening on their own time and time again, but in this clip, something else makes it far worse. The broom, standing upright completely on its own, as though some invisible hand carefully placed it there. Now, people have a lot of theories about what that actually means. Some believe a broom standing without support is a sign of residual spiritual energy, almost like the ground itself is charged. Others say it's a symbol in witchcraft, where a broom can act as a marker between realms, left in place to keep spirits in or out of a space. A few even think it could be a darker sign connected to rituals, with the broom acting as an invitation for entities to pass through. And then there's the more skeptical side, people who argue it's nothing more than balance, like the viral broom challenge, where people discovered that brooms could sometimes stand upright due to gravity. But when you pair it with the constant reports of doors opening on their own and other unexplained events inside the complex, the broom feels like it means something more. So whether you see this as proof of the paranormal, a sinister ritual left behind, or just a very strange coincidence, one thing is clear. This apartment complex continues to leave its residents with more questions than answers. The following clip was recorded in a Colombian mall by a man who works there. Before he got the chance to record this clip, several people had approached him talking about the weird things happening in the restroom. So one day, when he and some of his colleagues were sure no one else was in the mall, they decided to go and give it a look. Watch this.
Bueno, estoy nuevamente aquí, en la puerta del baño. No hay nadie acá. No hay nadie. Y allá tampoco hay nadie. No hay nadie allá. Dios mío. Bueno, voy para adentro. La sangre de Cristo me cura. Hola, hola. Hola. Hola, hola. ¿Estás acá? ¿Dónde estás? Se prenden las luces. ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? ¿Estás jugando con la llave? ¿Ah? Necesito otra prueba. Necesito otra prueba. ¡Ay, marica!
As terrifying as their experience was, this wasn't even the worst of what many had reported. Some claimed that faucets would turn on by themselves, doors would slam shut even when there was no draft, and the echo of footsteps that never seemed to belong to anyone. A few even swore they saw shadows moving beneath stall doors when no one was inside. No one knows what to do about the situation, and those who know fear doing something about it and getting caught. After all, it would be hard to explain why you're sprinkling holy water, burning sage, or chanting prayers in a mall restroom, especially to a boss who doesn't believe in ghosts. This next clip was captured by a man who has been experiencing very strange things in his house for a long time, and according to him, it's gotten more annoying than scary. Have a look.
I really don't think I'm ever gonna be able to see this shit. Listen to it. Listen to that pounding. Jesus. I mean, this is my whole closet right here. It's my kitchen. And here we go with this shit again. I'm just gonna wait and see how long it goes. It's never not. Stop! Okay, that works. Okay, so it seems to be wanting to happen now more in the afternoon. Just to prove there's nothing there. Jesus Christ. This is the cord in question, the coax cable, and you can see here it goes directly from here down to my Wi-Fi. So I could, I guess, open it like this, but one, I would probably be in the way of the camera here since I'm standing here, but let's try and test this. Here's the door latched all the way shut. I mean, I'm pulling on that pretty hard and it doesn't come out. But if I were to do this and open it, that just kind of pulls the Wi-Fi back. So, I mean, if this cord was the thing that was pulling it, this probably would have knocked off, but I don't know. Yes, absolutely we can, because I think everyone is obsessed with this and the fact that I do not have it secured. But as you can see, this goes to my modem, and that is all. It's an old building, so in front of every apartment they've had to drill holes and then feed these in through, you know, all this to kind of update it. But this building was built in 1932, and if you can't tell, hasn't really been updated too much since 1932. Oh. You gotta be kidding me.
This time it was his closet, swinging open on its own. Other times it's been his kitchen cabinet slamming shut in the middle of the night. He's even mentioned times when objects like his TV remote or keys disappear, only to reappear hours later in the exact same spot he swore he had already checked. At this point, he admits he's less terrified and more frustrated, because living in a house where you're constantly second-guessing whether you misplaced something or if something else is playing games with you gets exhausting. Viewers, however, had their own take on it. Some believe he might be dealing with a trickster spirit or poltergeist, something that thrives off causing chaos rather than harm. Others suggested the activity could be tied to him personally, claiming spirits sometimes attach themselves to a person instead of a place. Of course, the skeptics weighed in too, saying it's probably faulty wiring, uneven floors, or even air drafts causing the disturbances. But for those who've lived through similar unexplained chaos, they argue there's no mistaking the feeling of being toyed with by something you can't see. Now in this next clip, a lady named Brenda never lived alone before, but eventually got a place for herself. On the very first night in her new place alone, this happened.
Okay, first night in the new apartment, and Mabel has been doing this for about the last 5 minutes straight. She is watching something. And yeah, the fan is on, but there's like no shadows. Oh look, see? What is it, May? Mabel, come here. What is it? There are no bugs. Her ears are perked, and she's watching something. See? What the heck? What the heck? Mabel. Okay, right before she came in the door, there was a light. A little ball of light that came in the door right there. What is she chasing? This is like 10 minutes straight. the hell? She has never acted like this. What is she chasing? There are no bugs. There are no mice. Mabel, what did you go under the bed for? So, yeah, I get to sleep here tonight. Mabel, get up here. Come here. Get up here. Lay down. So, I guess we're gonna try sleep. I'll give you an update in the morning. Good night.
Many are of the opinion that a new place means new sounds, pipes settling, wood expanding, neighbors moving around, saying she'll get more relaxed after the newness goes away. But some people don't like to wait until something happens the second time before they take action, so she already saged and said a prayer through the whole apartment. Especially after hearing comments about the way her dog reacted, like it could hear something moving inside the wall. Some viewers think that's the clearest sign something paranormal might be going on, since animals are believed to sense things we can't. Others speculate it could be rodents or plumbing in the walls, but Brenda says she had the place inspected before moving in, and nothing unusual was found. So is Brenda dealing with a haunted apartment, or is it simply the unsettling adjustment of living alone for the first time? You decide. This next clip also has to do with how animals so often seem to know and see things we don't. A few weeks before Kevin filmed this, the house had been giving the family little nudges that something wasn't right. A bedroom light that would blink when nobody touched the switch, toys left neatly on the floor found scattered as if played with, and the faint sound of somebody pacing down the upstairs corridor. The family chalked some of it up to creaky old floors and a loose wiring issue, but the dog's behavior kept everyone uneasy. It started sleeping at the foot of the stairs, refusing to go into one hallway after dusk, and once woke the whole house by growling at an empty corner for a solid 5 minutes. On the day Kevin was home alone when this happened. Watch.
What do you hear, buddy?
A few people who slowed the footage down and bumped up the brightness insist they saw something slide past the wall where the dog was staring. Others say it's only a trick of light and compression, but the way the dog reacted before and after the moment makes it hard to dismiss. So what could be going on? And if you had to pick the next move to get rid of whatever or whoever is causing this, what would you try first? A house cleansing, or prayers, calling a medium, a structural or pest inspection to rule out a mundane cause, or just moving out altogether? I'd love to hear your thoughts. This next video comes from Ayers, who says everything went sideways after she and a friend tried a Ouija board. For anyone who doesn't know, a Ouija board is a flat board printed with letters, numbers, and words like yes and no that people use to try to communicate with spirits. Participants lightly rest their fingers on a planchette and wait for it to move. Skeptics call it ideomotor effect and harmless party trick. Believers warn it can open doors you don't want opened. Stories about Ouija sessions often include anything from sudden mood shifts and nightmares to persistent disturbances that won't leave long after the board is packed away. In other words, it can go badly if you don't know what you're doing. One night, after swearing she'd never touch one again, Ayers woke up to this. Watch.
Just seen my tape move at the side there, so I've just grabbed my iPhone to record it. It was moving.
She says she stopped using the board, but the activity only got worse. The kind of escalation people often link to a session that went wrong. That fits several common theories. Maybe the session created an attachment that ignored her intention to stop. Maybe it left a residual pattern in the house that whatever's sensitive to that energy keeps replaying. Or, the darkest possibility viewers floated, the Ouija invited something that doesn't respect boundaries and stuck around. A few nights later, she set her camera because she'd been feeling watched while waiting for a friend. Watch.
Well, that escalated quickly. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 unexpected movie deaths. It goes without saying that this entire list is one giant spoiler, so...
Any spirits here?
Number 10, Carolyn Fry, Pitch Black. This flawed hero crash lands on a deserted planet with primitive criminal Riddick in tow. Clearly the protagonist we're meant to root for. Fry spends the movie keeping him and the shady monsters at bay, so we shouldn't be shocked that she bites it. But, sigh, we are. Just as she redeems herself, that sense of they're gonna escape sets in. Then, boom. Down with less than 5 minutes left. Number 9, Dick Halloran, The Shining.
A few nights later, she woke to her kitchen completely upside down, and no signs of forced entry. She rearranged everything, but left a camera in the kitchen in case it happened again. Take a look at what happened.
Come on, I've just heard you.
So how do we tie this together? Whatever the cause, the pattern is classic in haunted house lore. Someone experiments with a gateway, the weirdness starts, it grows more aggressive, and even stopping the ritual doesn't always stop the activity. So are these events truly linked to that one session, or is there a different explanation she hasn't found yet? I'll leave that to you.